Aubrey Graham, Champagne Poppy, Drizzy, Six God, October's Very Own, Drake. Same difference. Drake is arguably one of the most popular and influenced artists of all time. I honestly don't even need to give an introduction to this guy. He's just that known. Alright, enough writing this, man. Let's get on to the topic of this video. Drizzy has been in the game since 2006 with his first mixtape titled Room for Improvement and doing pretty well to get his name out there. With projects under his belt like Take Care, Nothing Was the Same, Thank Me Later, I think it's safe to say that Drake is here to stay. Now, to think that Drake had albums that could have potentially boosted Drake's career with those classic projects with him is insane. From an R&B album to a Gucci Mane collab project together, these are the unreleased, canceled, and lost albums of the man, the myth, and the legend, Drake. Enjoy. It's Never Enough. Coming off his successful debut album, Thank Me Later, in the fall of 2010, Drake would immediately start working on his new project titled It's Never Enough. His plan for the project was to make an entire R&B album mostly using old samples in the 90s. Drake would actually drop a single from this project titled I Get Lonely Too, which was a slowed up tempo song produced by Drake partner in crime producer named 40. The song samples the women R&B group named TLC off their 1999 released song titled Fan Mail, off the project with the same name, and have even gone off record to say that the track I Get Lonely Too was his favorite off the project. Fans were excited to hear this new project of Drake singing his heart out off of these 90s hip-hop samples. Because while Drake did have a halfway R&B album titled So Far Gone, released in 2009, it did have a couple hard-hitting songs on there. Everything was going to plan as Drake would give a release month saying it would be released in October, but he didn't give out a date. Well, everything was good. He had said month, but not exactly date, and have teased and gave fans excitement for the upcoming project. Well, soon after this, things would go downhill. In a 2010 MTV article, Drake would go on and say that he's pushing back the project and will most likely release later that year. This is what Drake had to say about the situation in the article. Quote, I don't know if it'll be this month, Drake said to MTV at the time of the anticipation. It's a lot of great music that we all enjoy listening to as a team. Gearing up for my next album, preparing people. What I said on my next album is that I didn't necessarily want to have full R&B songs. I just wanted to find a balance like I did on So Far Gone. I want to have more songs on my next album. I want to give people that music. I'm really excited about It's Never Enough. I might pick a beautiful woman and shoot a video. I have some ideas. So okay, fans just had to wait 2 more months for the project and the wait would end right there, right? Right? Well, not exactly. See, fans would wait and wait and wait, and by the end of December, fans lost hope, and nothing never came. And that would be the last time the project was ever even spoken about. It's like Drake just scrapped the project entirely and moved on. Drake would end up start working on another project in 2011. This album would later come out to be Take Care, and would end up being released in November 2011. After this, Drake would then release an album in September of 2013, titled Nothing Was the Same. Fans would immediately start drawing the comparison between this album and the project It's Never Enough. It's alleged It's Never Enough was morphed into Nothing Was the Same, but this has not been confirmed. The single from It's Never Enough, which was I Get Lonely Too, would end up being on the compilation album from Drake titled Care Package, which was released in August of 2019. This compilation consists of songs released between 2010 and 2016 that were initially unavailable for purchase or commercial streaming. In April of 2018, Drake would announce his next studio album titled Scorpion and was set to be released on June 29, 2018. Before release, however, Drake would come out and announce that the project was actually a double album consisting of 2 sides, one being Side A and the other being Side B, with Side A all being hip-hop and Side B being all R&B and pop. Fans would immediately think about the scrap project from almost a decade ago as an idea that Drake has back-pocketed for since 2010. As of right now, Drake hasn't said nothing about the project since 2010, and it's assumed that the project is completely scrapped to this very day. Posthumous Aaliyah album. In August of 2012, Drake would announce a posthumous album with the late great artist Aaliyah, who would pass away in 2001 from a plane crash after shooting a video for her new song titled rocked the boat from the Bahamas. Drake was really broken that this tragic event happened and always wanted to carry on her legacy through his own music. After the release of the track titled Enough Said, a track that featured his voice alongside of that of Aaliyah's, Aaliyah family would distance themselves from the album, with Aaliyah's brother, Rashad, said at the time, saying, quote, "There is no official album being released and supported by the Ogden family." Shortly after Rashad said this, longtime Aaliyah collaborators Timbaland and Missy Elliott stated that they were not participating in the album's production. Instead, Blackground Records, a label run by Aaliyah's uncle and cousin, would be doing it. Her uncle and cousin would announce that the album would consist of 16 unreleased tracks and quote-unquote fragments that would be produced by Drake and legendary producer 40. It was also announced that the album will also be dropping by the end of that year. Drake and 40 were excited about the project since they loved Aaliyah's music and always wanted to do something like this. But as it turned out, Drake initially wasn't even supposed to be on the album. Supposedly it was just Aaliyah's unreleased tracks with 40 production on the project, and Drake just asked 40 if he could be on the album, and of course 40 agreed. 40 would tell Vibe that, quote, "I've been obsessed with Aaliyah forever, and I know Drake has his relationship with her. But that opportunity was mine." Drake said, "Can I do it with you?" And I was like, "Of course, we'll do it together." However, after the announcement of the album, Drake and 40 would receive immediate backlash from the public, the fans of Aaliyah, the fans of Drake, and even friends of Aaliyah. Because of the backlash, Timbaland will ultimately step down for being a producer for the album, and that would really upset 40 as he wanted Timbaland being a part of the project. "That was a very sad experience for me," Sharif said. "I was native to the politics surrounding Aaliyah's legacy and a bit ignorant to Timbaland's relationship and everybody else involved and how they felt." Tim said, "To me, don't stop, make the album." I think that was Tim taking the position of, "I'm not going to stop you. If you're not going to do it, that's your decision." With all this stuff happening with the project, it would be thought that the project would be ultimately cancelled, but the project was actually still being made. The icing on the cake when it came until 40 would actually receive a message and call from Aaliyah's own mother saying that she did not want the project to be released. This will ultimately be the final straw, and the project was put to rest this same day. 40 would come out about the situation with Aaliyah's mother and state, quote, "We released Enough Said, but I was 7 songs deep," the producer said. Aaliyah's mother saying, "I don't want this out," was enough for me. I walked away very quickly. After this, the project was completely shelved and will most likely stay that way for the rest of time. However, in December of 2016, a track titled Talk Is Cheap, featuring Aaliyah and Static Major, would leak online, which featured unreleased vocals from the late artist and also from Static Major. It was alleged that this track was one of the 7 tracks that 40 worked on for the album before they called it quits on the project altogether. Although Drake couldn't come out with the project, he of course still paid homage to her like he did on his 2018 album titled Scorpion, where Drake would flip one of the Aaliyah classic songs titled More Than a Woman on his track on the album titled Is There More? The Sixers. The Sixers is now, or was, a planned 2016 collab EP from Drake with other popular rapper named Gucci Mane. The name came from where both artists are from. Drake calls Toronto the 6, which is in reference to Toronto's zip code, which is 416. Also, Toronto is where he grew up, which is why he made this reference in the first place, to rap where he grew up from. And Gucci Mane is from Zone 6, which is the nickname for East Atlanta, which is where he grew up, the east side of Atlanta. Gucci would even make a song to co-sign his area titled Zone 6. The project was rumored for a while after Gucci Mane was released from prison after 3 years for things we are not going to get into in this video. It's unknown why these rumors started, but what I guess is that they have worked in the past and both are big artists. However, in June of 2016, Gucci would invite Drake to his home while filming for a music video. They would end up posting a picture together on Instagram. The caption would read, "Sixers." This would put more fire into the rumor, and fans immediately directed this to a collab project together. Fans would not have to wait too much longer because in August of 2016, longtime friend of Gucci and producer for both artists, Zaytoven, would actually confirm the rumor on a Vlad TV interview detailing what happened that day while him, Mike Will Made It, Drake, and Gucci would be at Gucci House discussing the project. After this, nothing else would be heard about the project until December of 2016, when Gucci would give an update to the project on The Breakfast Club. Unfortunately, this would be the last time that we will ever hear about this project from everyone involved. As most of you guys know, Gucci would drop a collab EP with the other rapper named Lil Uzi Vert a month earlier in November of 2016 titled 1017 vs. The World, which was probably another reason why the EP was pushed back even more. And also, Gucci would drop his first project since him being in the prison titled The Return of East Atlanta, which was released in December of 2016, which was most likely another reason why it was pushed back. As of right now, the project is on hold and is still waiting on to be released from Drake and Gucci fans to this very day, with fans still talking about how they wish the project would come out already after 6 years of waiting. YOLO. YOLO is another was a planned 2011 unreleased mixtape from Drake with other popular rapper named Rick Ross. The name came from a line on his November 2011 Take Care album on a song called The Motto, which Drake says, "Now she want a photo, you already know though, you only live once, that's the motto, N-word YOLO." Just in case if you don't get it, YOLO stands for You Only Live Once, which basically means live your life to the fullest and have a blast while you're here because, well, you only live once. The project was announced in 2011 by Drake while talking to XSL. While talking to SSL, he will say, quote, "I have been working on a mixtape with Ross," Drake said. "A mixtape called YOLO. That means you only live once. I've been working on that for the last couple of weeks. We haven't really connected because he's been going through this thing with his health. I've been stashing my little beats and verses." Drake and Rick Ross would talk publicly about the project over the years, but nothing really came of it and nothing was ever released. In January of 2020, Rick Ross would give another promising update while talking to Complex, saying that there is still a chance that this joint project might still end up happening. However, with a name change, since the word YOLO has kind of fell behind in today's world and no one really uses that word anymore. Ross would say, quote, "YOLO was just a vibe. You never know what could happen in the future. But me and Drake, him being in Miami at the time in 2011 to 2012, and him coming by the crib every day, we was spending a lot of time together, and it was a serious possibility. We wasn't just talking. We really was in the studio a lot. It's just not the same no more, meaning the way he travel and the way I move. But is it a possibility? There's always a possibility for that, because it would be simple for us." Ross in the same interview would then go on and say, quote, "Whenever I collaborate with the homie, it's always the best of the best. So if we just kicking some street and if it feels like some YOLO, or if it feels like some Aston Martin or Gold Roses, I always find the best in it. Because whenever we collaborate, I love when I hear him go from bars to switching that shit all the way to the tune of Keith Sweat. That's something that keeps him in his own lane, so I enjoy both." He would then say something about it again in the same interview, saying, quote, "I got enough production to do a me and Drake project and a Nas project. The next Maybach Music Self-Made 4. As of right now, the projects still haven't been released, but fans haven't lost hope as Rick Ross keep giving us updates for the tape, saying that they could still work and put it out." Drake and Lil Wayne collab album. Once again, here's another unreleased collab project with 6 God with legend rapper named Lil Wayne. I don't really think I have to go into the detail about why this project was trying to be made or anything like that, because I'm positive you guys know Drake and Lil Wayne history. But to make it long story short, Lil Wayne was signed Drake to Cash Money Records and basically became his mentor at the time. Me and Wayne scrapped the idea of a collaboration album. Drake told XSL exclusively, "We just agreed that it would be looked upon us as it would be sort of this competition with Watch the Throne. I feel like it would get caught in this whirlwind of hype." Wayne agreed. "We just said if we do it, we'll do it down the line. But right now is not the time." After sometimes, lost hope to me in my opinion. But hey, it could still happen. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. Drake and Migos collab project. Here we go again. If you guys don't know, Drake and the Migos have been friends for a very long time. And Drake is kind of the reason why the Migos blew up in the first place, with Versace remix, featuring Drake blowing up with some people saying that the song blew up specifically from the Drake feature, but other fans don't 100% agree. Long story short, in October of 2018, Quavo from the popular rap group named the Migos would be asked by a fan on a GQ series titled Undercover, where celebrities would go undercover on an alternative account and answer fans' questions on there. In the video, one of the questions asked by a fan was if we would ever see a Drake and Migos project, and this is what Quavo had to say.
Quick thought, but what if the Migos and Drake drop a collab mixtape after the tour? You must be a psychic. If that don't tell you something, I don't know what to tell you.
Besides that, nothing else has ever came from the project, and it's speculated that Quavo just said that for hype, as nobody else from Quavo camp or Drake camp would say anything about this project ever since. Wolves. And last but not least, possibly the most known and biggest unreleased project from Drake's career, the project called Wolves with the one and only Kanye West. Now, honestly, there's so much information about this project over the years, and it's honestly fair common knowledge at this point. But to make it long story short, this roller coaster of a ride will all begin in February of 2015, when Kanye West would go on to the Breakfast Club and say the following.
I'm just going ahead and give y'all a soundbite that y'all want. I'm just going ahead and say it, where the Wolf song came from. The Wolf song, I'm just going ahead and say it, and because maybe this will promote it happening. So I'm going to go ahead and put it out in the real world. The Wolf song came from a conversation that me and Drake had where we was going to do an album together. And the album is called Wolves.
After this, some stuff will happen between them, which I'm not going to get into in this video because I simply don't want to make this video too long because there is simply just so much stuff that happened between them. So I apologize in advance if I'm like skipping over stuff and fast forwarding. Really do apologize. Anyway, fast forward to March 2016 when the original version of Calabasas is the new Abu Dhabi. And here's a picture of it right here. So obviously fans were hyped.
Hey, radio, f*** you. Radio, f*** you. Y'all don't want to lose again. A lot of people here tonight felt like they lost. You know why? Because y'all been lied to. Google lied to you. Facebook lied to you. Radio lied to you. Khaled and Drake and radio and Doc and 92.3 and everybody. Is it just me? Or did you hear that song so many times? You seen one pay for free. And give me the, hey, you know what it is though? Cause I love Drake, I love Khaled, but they set that song up, bro. And let me tell you something.
At the time, Drake didn't say anything about this since it's speculated that Drake didn't want to speak out about it since Kanye wasn't in a good mental state at the time. But he would respond months later in February of 2017 when Drake would be interviewed by DJ Simtex, where Drake would say,
I'm not really sure what he's referring to half the time, you know, because in the same breath, I mean, you know, I went from being like working on a project with him to him sort of like publicly on me and DJ Khaled for being on the radio too much, you know, I accept it. I don't respect it at all.
After this, it was assumed that the project was unfortunately canceled since nothing was heard from the project for years, and it wouldn't make any better for when Drake and Kanye would get into a hot water again together, when in May of 2018, Drake would accuse Kanye of giving Pusha T info about at the time unknown son, but of course we're not going to get into that in this video. However, there is a chance of this project still happening one day, since in December of 2021, when after many years of not being on good terms, Drake and Kanye would reunite performing at the Free Larry Hoover benefit concert. This has made many fans speculate that the project will start happening again. However, Drake nor Kanye has said anything about the project at all, and it's kind of assumed it's never happening. But me personally, I feel like we shouldn't lose hope and everything is possible. Fans have called this the best Drake collab project that never happened. If you guys want a full detailed version of this project that never was, I highly recommend that you guys watch Trap Lord Raw's video about the history of the project and Drake and Kanye friendship in general. It's very good, and I will leave a link to the video in this video description. Unknown projects. Okay, so I decided to put the rest of the projects I'm covering into one entry. Since these projects have very, and I mean very, little information on them that they can't really be put into their own entries. Black October. There's not a lot of information online about this mysterious project. Actually, being nothing about this project is known. The only thing that is known is literally the project's name. How I found out about this project was literally on a Reddit post stating one of the projects on the list for unreleased Drake projects, and the name Black October being on the list. The person also leaked this article about the unreleased projects, but the link is now a dead end, and that's all I can find. If you guys have more information about this project, let me know, because I really would like to know. The name of the project sounds interesting, and I want to look more into the project. What a Time to Be Alive 2. What a Time to Be Alive is a 2015 Drake and Future collab album with popular rapper named Future. It was a huge success, and it caused fans to want a sequel to the project. In April of 2019, Drake and Future will post a video on Drake's Instagram story saying that we gotta cook something up that has caused fans to speculate that a sequel to the project is on the way. ATL Jacob, a producer signed to Future label's Free Bands, also teased the album in the spring, posting a tweet showing off the photo of his laptop screen showing a number of files named Feud X Dra and FGB, making fans even more hyped. After this, multiple tracks would be leaked online, and it's speculated that these tracks was a part of the project. However, this has not been confirmed. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This video took me so long since I had to write the script and research the video, edit the video, and put it all together. So if you guys could leave a like and subscribe to my channel, it would be greatly appreciated. Also, leave a comment telling me what was the most interesting entry on this list and what one you really like to see. I really want to know. Also, if you guys have any questions about this video, or if I messed up some information in this video, then definitely let me know so I can do better in the future so my videos can get better. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a good day, and until next time.